Hi, I'm Lawrence Todd at Design 911, and today I've got some breaking news. I'm going to be giving you a tech talk on, if you haven't guessed, brake discs. If your Porsche has disc brakes, then your brake discs are a key part of its braking system. It's very likely your Porsche does have brake discs, as they were first introduced into the Porsches from the Porsche 356C in 1964. So what does a brake disc do? As I mentioned, it's a key part of your braking system. The brake disc, or sometimes commonly referred to as a rotor, is attached to your wheel hub and goes round with your wheel. Your brake caliper goes over the top of your brake disc. Your caliper has pistons in it and your brake pads. When you put your foot on the brake pedal, you apply hydraulic pressure to the pistons, which push the brake pads against this braking surface on your brake disc. As the pads rub against the disc, this generates friction, turning the kinetic energy of your car, turning the movement energy, also known as kinetic energy, of your car into thermal energy, helping you slow your car down. Porsches are renowned to have some of the best brakes out there because they take them technology that they develop in their motorsport cars and bring it across to their road cars. As brake discs are such an important part of your car's braking system, it's key to know when they're wearing and when they need replacing. One is vibrations or shuddering. You may feel this in the car, but you will definitely feel this through your brake pedal. Another telltale sign, hearing screeching or scratching sounds from your brakes. And finally, if your car's just not stopping, it's a good chance that something in your braking system has worn out, whether that's your pads or your discs. So it's definitely worth taking a wheel off and checking. One way that you can check physically to see if your brake disc is worn is seeing if there's been a lip formed at the top here. The pads don't necessarily wear right to the top, so it's very common for there to become a little ridge at the top of your disc. If you run your fingers across the top and feel quite an aggressive lip, it's a good sign that your brake discs have worn out. If you've got worn brake discs and you're looking to replace them, or if you're looking to upgrade your brake discs, there are a number of upgrades available. As brake discs are such a key part of your braking system, they need to be good at three things. First of all, they need to be able to generate friction to help you slow down. They need to be able to dissipate heat, and thirdly, they need to be structural and to be able to withstand force. To do this, they're typically made out of several different materials. The most common material that brake discs are made out of is cast iron. This is an example of a cast iron disc. It has great wear properties. It's also very thermal resistant. Not only is it durable, it is very cost effective and has great heat resistance. In addition to the cast iron disc, Porsche are also making high carbon steel discs. This is again very similar to the cast iron disc. It's very durable. It's almost arguably as cost effective, maybe a little bit more expensive than cast iron, but it has excellent thermal properties. This is important because obviously when your brakes are converting the kinetic energy of your car into thermal energy, a lot of heat builds up. So you really want your brake discs to be resistant to heat. You don't want them to warp. If they do warp, then they're going to be out of line and they're going to start rubbing on your pads, and then you're going to lose efficiency while driving. So you do really want your brake discs to be resistant to heat so that they don't warp. Now, if you have a pretty special road car, like the car behind me, this 992 GT3, then there's a good chance that you might have some pretty special brakes on it. Now, to make sure that Porsche are providing the necessary kind of braking efficiency for their high performance cars, they have come out with Porsche carbon ceramic brakes, PCCB. Now, this is an example of a carbon ceramic brake. Carbon ceramic brakes have incredible thermal resistance, incredible heat dissipation, so these things can get really hot and they will then dissipate the heat, so release it, they'll cool down very quickly. They also don't generate any dust, so you won't have to clean your wheels. A downside is that they're not cheap. These carbon ceramic discs are almost 15 times more expensive than their equivalent in cast iron or high carbon steel. To make a middle ground between the Porsche carbon ceramic brakes and their cast iron or high carbon steel, Porsche have been pioneering the space, launching their Porsche surface coated brakes. Now, this is again a cast iron disc, but this disc is coated in tungsten carbide, similar to the same that you get your drill bits made out of. It's exceptionally hard, it's well resistant to wearing, and it also doesn't generate any dust. In fact, Porsche are so confident with its ability to not generate dust that they often pair this rotor with white brake calipers. Another benefit in line with its lack of dust producing, so that you don't have to clean your wheels so often, is that it's a third of the price of the equivalent Porsche carbon ceramic brake disc, and it's only 5 times the price of its equivalent cast iron. So as I mentioned, your brake disc needs to be very good at 3 things: generating friction, heat resistance, and being structural. Now, the choice of material really helps with those 3 things, but their design also comes into play. Here is the design of one of the very first types of brake disc that was made. It's called a solid disc. This is, as you can see, as the name says, it is solid in design. It is one disc that has no holes in it or venting. That is a solid disc. To help improve heat dissipation, after the solid disc was brought out, vented discs were introduced. This is an example of a vented disc. From this profile, it looks almost identical to a solid disc. There is no real difference, but it's only till when you turn it on its side that you notice it has what looks like little turbine blades between the 2 braking surfaces. These turbine blades help increase the surface area of the disc and help dissipate heat. This is called a vented disc. In addition to vents, later different features started being added to discs. You got holes drilled into the working face, like this disc. This is an example of both a vented and a drilled disc. The concept behind the drilled holes is, again, it helps increase surface area, but it also helps remove water, so it improves your braking when driving on wet roads. As well as introducing drilled holes into the working face of brake discs, they also had grooves cut into them. Now, the grooves don't increase the surface area of the brake disc as much as the drilled holes do, so I wouldn't say that these grooves help dissipate heat, but what they do is they help increase brake pad bite, so they improve the efficiency of your brake pads working on this friction face. They help remove debris from the brake pad, and they also help remove any gas buildup from the braking surface degrading. One disadvantage of grooved discs is that they can be said to increase the wear of your brake pads because of that increased brake bite. I guess you have the pros and cons. You get better braking, but as a result of better braking, your brake pads wear out faster. So you have a solid disc, a vented disc, a drilled disc, and a grooved disc. Putting the solid disc aside, the vented disc, drilled disc, and grooved disc have then been combined to create the best of both worlds. This is an example of a drilled, grooved, and vented disc. That's a whistle-stop tour of the design and materials of Porsche brake discs. Now, if you need to replace your brake disc, perhaps because it's worn, you're experiencing some of those symptoms I experienced above, and basically your car's no longer stopping, what are your options? Well, if your Porsche is an earlier Porsche with a solid disc, you could upgrade your Porsche to something that is vented, drilled, and grooved. That is an option. If you had a later Porsche that had a cast iron disc that was vented, you could upgrade that to a high carbon steel disc, which is also vented. Again, as I said, this is slightly more durable and has better heat dissipation, so there's less chance of your brakes warping. These are all classed as upgrades because you're improving your brake efficiency. Now, there might be a case where you want to downgrade your brakes, and that case is if you've got Porsche carbon ceramic discs. If your Porsche was equipped from factory with carbon ceramic discs, you might want to take these off, put them in the shed for when you next go do a track session, and while you're daily driving, install a much more cost-effective steel alternative. I'm not going to pick this up because it's flipping heavy, but You can change your Porsche carbon ceramic discs to an equivalent steel disc. That is, I would argue, classed as an upgrade, especially for your wallet. If you would like to upgrade your brake discs, whether that is for an upgrade that's going to improve its braking performance or an upgrade for your wallet, head to design911.com. In the top banner, enter the model and type of your car, then go to the left-hand navigation menu and scroll down and select brakes. Once you've done this, you'll then be presented with a grid layout where you can browse all of the different brake components available to you. If you have any questions about which brakes are suitable for you, whether you're not sure what upgrade you should be going for your type of motoring, don't hesitate to get in touch with the team at Design911. You can do this by either sending them an email, giving them a call, or using the chat function on the website. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you for the next Tech Talk.